Hey Virgo, welcome to your February 2019 Tarot and Astrology reading. Welcome back to the channel if you're a regular here, and if you're new, welcome. Please like and subscribe to the channel for monthly and mid-monthly updates, okay Virgo? So, this is a very interesting month in terms of your sense of self and your sense of purpose. So to have the Sun move into Pisces in the 19th, we do have this shift whereby you consider your relationships more than your day-to-day work environment and the trivial, well, they're never trivial to you, but the smaller details of your life and your work ethic, etc. We then get a shift into your relationships with others, be they romantic, be they business. Any forms of partnerships under this sky are enhanced, although we do have a full moon in the same day that the Sun moves into Pisces in your sign. And when the full moon is in your sign, it can feel as though emotions are running high. It can feel as though you're more hyper aware of certain things. And as an analytical sign, you know, you're very good at figuring out what needs to happen for other people, for projects, for you know, everything that earth signs represent, the material aspects, the details on paper. You're very good at figuring those out for other people, but this full moon is asking you to look inward a little bit on yourself. And you fear that because you don't want people to call you self-obsessed, but you know, Virgo's one of the most far removed sign. You know, you're so critical to yourself sometimes, because I've personally not met a Virgo who isn't self-critical, but it can be kind of disruptive in terms of the flow of things. Virgos oftentimes don't take time to wish. They're not the most commonly into the law of attraction in the universe and astrology and things like that. But when they are, they use it as a tool to enhance their life rather than deduct from it. Mercury is also going to be in your 7th house of partnerships, giving a voice to the partnerships in your life, in your family, in your romance, in your business. You know, communications are going to be running high there. You may be hearing from people romantically more. You may be getting more messages. Mars in the 9th means that it's a good time to plan a vacation, plan a getaway. And I just feel for you, Virgo, a lot of this is going to be less to do with hiding your emotions than you usually do for the sake of somebody else's benefit. So if you're dealing with a fire sign that you feel you have to tiptoe around at times, Virgo, it's a very good time to process this and figure out what you really need to be saying to keep yourself sane. You may have distrust for a fire sign, or you may feel like they're keeping their feelings to themselves. It maybe makes you suspicious, but the key is not to reflect inward and take it out on you. I feel a lot of you are probably dealing with a fire sign where there is some kind of lack of understanding, and possibly both of you have closed up shop. It doesn't have to be a fire sign, it can be somebody quite business oriented, Virgo. So let's see. Queen of Pentacles. So first off the bat, we have your energy. You could be dealing, of course, with another earth sign. We do get into that in the Vimeo readings, romantically about the different elements. But if this is you, to begin the reading is incredibly prominent and incredibly important when we begin it with your court card. So the Queen of Pentacles in certain other decks, there is, oh goodness, I only got it for Christmas, but it's a mermaid tarot deck, and the Queen of Pentacles is known as kindness. Being kind to yourself is important. To have your court card in the month of your full moon means that the energies are entirely for you in this reading, Virgo, and a lot of Virgos don't like that because, you know, they want to know how to help everyone else, so they want to know what everyone else is doing so that they can work around it accordingly. No, this is all about you. What is crossing you is the 6 of Pentacles. As I said, serving. You're literally giving everybody the time of day and all your efforts, and you're quite possibly not giving it to yourself. But the reason that you're okay with this is because the balance comes from knowing that you've given. So you are the type of sign that needs to be needed. You like to be relied upon. You like to give the smaller parts of yourself that seem possibly quite trivial to others. You know, signs like Leo or Scorpio that want these big emotional displays. You give these more particular, thoughtful gifts in smaller packages, whereby you're giving your time and your advice, even sometimes giving critical analysis to your partner to make them feel like they're getting somewhere. And not everyone takes it the same, and not everyone takes it the right way. But it's the thought behind it that's coming for you, Virgo. But the answer here is to make sure that you're giving something to yourself, or at least you're getting something back from your relationships, because give and take is an important balance that must be maintained as per the scales here. The Hanged Man in the past, as well as the Ace of Swords. There may have been a recent clarity to delays or situations which seemed to be going nowhere. There seems to be a recent change of thought or an exposure of truth. We'll get back to that as we go along, but the top of the reading is telling me this full moon in your sign, Virgo, is going to open up a new beginning for you emotionally. 5 of Pentacles in your immediate, 4 of Swords, 9 of Swords, 5 of Swords, and the King of Pentacles. Wow. That's something. 2 court cards, and they're both earth. What's underneath? Ah, there's that King of Wands again. So we have 3 court cards. Ooh, he just popped up and then we have the Queen. 2 kings and 2 queens. It's like some of you are double dating for sure, but oh my goodness. Okay. Mars in the 9th. Mars moves into Taurus on the 15th of February. Okay. Some of you are possibly dealing with a Sagittarius with Mars being in the 9th. So we have an interesting change from the Queen to the King. And these aren't gender specific, by the way. The moving up from the Queen to the King is never gender oriented. I mean, it can represent a man and a woman. But the point of it is an elevation of self. You know, you're moving from this momentum whereby you're becoming more aware of your emotions under the full moon, and you don't want it to be messy. You want everything, you want your emotions to be organized with what you're doing, and where you know, Virgos are the ones that when they're really upset, they'll schedule in a cry for a specific moment. What I'm seeing for you is this feeling of emotional overwhelming abundance. You're emotional about something, and yet you're trying to channel it into those around you. You're trying to help people around you. You're trying to deal with it on an external level physically, rather than figuring out what it is that's really going on within you. But you're on the cliff here. You know, you're on the cliff edge, ready to embrace something new. But the idea of going it alone and being self-dependent, self-sufficient is making you feel uncomfortable. The idea of not having anybody to serve is making you uncomfortable, or feeling like you're not needed anymore is making you uncomfortable. The 5 of Pentacles means you may have to go through this energy in order to get out the other side. The 5 of Pentacles can represent you being stressed about money, being stressed about isolation, being stressed about whatever it is in your life that seems to be lacking is where your fear is lying. But with the King of Pentacles, it's telling me, Virgo, that you're actually coming out of this more abundant. 3 of Wands, there is a ship yet to come in for you. You're waiting on an answer. You're waiting on some sort of information, some sort of signal. If you were looking for a sign to go for it, this is it. Okay? So 4 of Swords, you feel like you're bringing to the table not a lot. You're very critical at the moment, Virgo, with the Aquarian season. There's a new moon in Aquarius, and that is your 6th house of day to day. Now, as a Virgo, you're very comfortable with 6th house energy as it is your own. It is the service house. What you can give, what you're putting into what's around you, what it is that you can see in the physical. Possibly if you have children, they may have been very difficult and very selfish. And it may have been very frustrating for you, but you almost thrive in that because you know that you are assisting. Now, you wonder why I'm talking so much about this. It is because of the 6 of Pentacles, again, 6th house energy, what we give to others and what we receive back. And there is a tendency for Virgos, unless you're sometimes, you know, I find Virgos with Cancerians can get this really lovely balance whereby one is needy and one is needed. You know what I mean? But you feel a little bit out in the cold about something, and you feel a little bit indecisive about your own your own agenda even. You're not really sure what it is that you're going for or why you're behaving in a certain way. You could be dealing with a Taurus or a Libra, but you are, especially if you're a mother, your relationship with your kids, your relationship with people that are somewhat dependent on you for validation or resources is at the forefront of your mind. And some of you may have delayed love because of it. So some of you could have been waiting around for a very long time in a partner. I think the Ten of Pentacles, it may recently have ended, but there is a big family situation going on for some Virgos whereby the truth was needed in order to begin again or to get somewhere, especially financially, Virgo. I feel like there was some sort of financial issue that you were not aware of or that you were determined to get to the bottom of and fix. Okay, so here's your energy, the Hermit. The Hermit with the Fool indicates to me some kind of solo trip or solo journey. Getting out of the pattern of assistance. Now the Hermit is your energy. And the Hermit, I can never understand why, really, it was a Virgo card. That's just my 2 cents. I find that one difficult to remedy because I see it more as this Hermit going on a spiritual journey, which sometimes is easily resisted by Virgos because they don't like the idea of being totally solo without a purpose. You know, Virgo needs a purpose. And the Fool and the Hermit suggest going out onto this alone. So it may be a new business venture, it may be a new job, it may be a new relationship. You're looking to start a new cycle, a new journey, but I feel it's solo, so I don't feel like it's necessarily relationship-wise. But with the Five of Pentacles and the Three of Swords, I feel as though somebody was taking from you in a way that you got left out in the end. So it's very possible to go from the 6 to a 5 that you gave too much. Or you had too much taken from you, especially if we're dealing with a Taurus or a Libra. I got to put that out there, but that may just be where the issue is with a particular relationship. And when the Sun moves into Pisces, you know, you will have a lot more time to focus and think about your relationships in general. And that's maybe where this Three of Swords is coming from. There's an issue of codependency for many Virgos. And this is what you're bringing to the table. So I feel as if you're possibly enabling a relationship that's unhealthy, or you've possibly been enabling a pattern of behavior or treatment from a partner that was unhealthy, or you yourself have a codependency to be needed. I know that I'm repeating myself with that. I understand. But the Six of Pentacles to me seems to be one of the most significant cards in this reading. Okay? Three of Wands, as I say, this is in your environment. You're nervous about your ships not coming in. You're nervous about never getting that opportunity, never getting that relationship, never getting that momentum, never getting that pay rise. You're nervous about the future. Now, when you're nervous about the future, it means you're not living in the present. When you're anxious, you are worried about the future. When you're depressed, you're thinking about the past. You, Virgo, seem to be particularly concerned about what's to come rather than what has been, okay? Because I feel like there is possibly a nostalgia for the past. There is also the possibility that you feel your friends or your family, someone in your immediate circle, is keeping information from you, and it's making you kind of... I think that's what's making a lot of you nervous. Now, there is a romance coming in for many Virgos. Yes, 100%. Those of you that are single, new love is coming in. And it's funny because it comes in after you've acknowledged some sort of pain. It's almost as if the lead up to the full moon makes you aware of something within yourself that you weren't totally aware of before. A pain, a habit, a behavior. And I feel it's a lot to do with taking. Because the Five of Pentacles is a lack mentality. So where in your life you feel lack exists, consider whether or not you're manifesting much of the same by focusing on it. And consider whether or not you believe that something is possible. As I say, Virgos don't take a lot of time wishing for things. They're more about getting things done instead of, you know, trying to manifest the future. A lot of the time, Virgo, you can be too worried about it that much of the same comes along or the same problem lasts quite a while if it's emotional. Okay, so when I see the King of Pentacles and I see the Page of Cups, new love seems to be coming in, possibly in the form of another earth sign, possibly another Virgo, Taurus, or a Capricorn. There seems to be a romantic stirring and a romantic proposal. Now, it could be a Pisces, don't get me wrong, it could be a Pisces, or there could be a proposition from a Pisces you're already involved in. Those of you that are in relationships, be prepared for a little bit of an argumentative energy under Aquarian season, which is until the 19th, because of day-to-day issues, because of money, because of car payments, because of plans, and for some reason you're sort of thinking, maybe I could just go off on my own for a minute. When the sun moves into your partnership house, things are going to improve dramatically. So if you are worried about money and things, focus about what it is you love about your partner, what it is that makes you adore them so much. Oh, some of you actually, gotta be honest, some of you are at the end of the tether with a relationship, and some of you might be deciding to leave. For a lot of you, I think you may also be planning to move home, move town, possibly with the Four of Wands, but I think it's more a house move. This guy actually goes off to pursue his dreams. You know, he's taking affirmative action. That's why he's dressed in red. He knows what he's doing. Okay, so if you are leaving something behind, it's because you know what you're doing. And because you are ready to go after something. And there's a little tinge of excitement in you. There's more nerves, but there's a little tinge of excitement. With the Emperor here, you may be dealing with an Aries or Scorpio. But I think a lot of you have an opportunity to move in business. Something new, something that gives you more autonomy over your finances, over your decisions. And a lot of you have come into financial strain because of a female, could be a wife, could be a mother, possibly was the cause of financial strain, or a financial issue with money. You know, a financial belief in money. Let me see. There's definitely love coming in. Knight of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles. You probably want to go slow. You're probably, those of you that are single, I think somebody new's come in and you're worried about showing your hand. Three of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles. Ooh, the Page of Wands. High Priestess. Eight of Pentacles, Page of Swords, Seven of Swords, and the Four of Cups. Now, why does that keep coming up? Here is the Queen of Wands. Okay, so some of you have a fire sign issue going on here, and some of you have new love. That Four of Cups. That card always bothers me. And you know, I don't know if any of you are familiar. I'd say most of you are familiar, but I'm sure some of you won't be, so I'll explain it. There's a song by the Backstreet Boys, and it's called I Want It That Way. And I always feel like that song was written about a Virgo. You know, wanting something a particular way. And I kind of feel like this is where you're coming from romantically. It's as if you are not sure it's 100% the way you would like it to be. You know, there's an opportunity for romance for many of you, and you may feel it's not the right time, you may feel it's not quite the right person, you think they're cute, you think they're interesting, but they're not just it. Even though you don't know them that well. They would surprise you, Virgo, but I feel like you have hesitancy about a new love interest, or even dating. I think some of you are maybe not ready to date. I can see with the Three of Swords and the High Priestess that possibly there is someone who really hurt you, but it messed with your internal guidance system a little bit, as if, you know, it could have been a Pisces for many of you, but I feel, Virgo, that you have a heartbreak that you were aware of a long time before something ended, or you were really left out in the cold by somebody, or you were suddenly left, suddenly ghosted. There's a pain here, and if it's not from someone recent, it's someone long gone, and possibly the full moon is making you aware of where the cracks are in your porcelain heart. And you don't really want to have someone interfere with you putting it back together. Do you know what I'm saying? Some of you might have taken a very, very, very long time to get over somebody. But there's someone here that sees you as there's someone who really wants to get to know you, for a lot of you singles. Now, this may not resonate for everybody. Of course, your moon and rising is important. But for most Virgos, I'm seeing some element of new love and some offer from a current partner after a period of arguments. There's some sort of offering here. We actually have 2 hands holding a cup, which means an offer of emotion. And I say it comes after a 3 of Swords. You would rather it this way around than the other. The 3 of Swords doesn't always indicate a breakup or a heartbreak. Most oftentimes it is a misunderstanding of emotions and a pain association with somebody. For the 5 of Pentacles, it could be money worries, or it could also be feeling like somebody is quite transient with your life. You know, they're in and out, or they come and they go. Some of you, it's a fire sign, possibly an Aries, who's constantly on to the next adventure and you never know where you stand. You fear people not telling you the truth, and yet you get upset when they offer their advice this month. You're mistrusting of anyone offering an opinion because you worry they're trying to cloud your judgment or interfere with your train of thought. So you're rejecting emotional help in many ways. But you can change your thinking if you consider that it's okay for other people to give too. As we go back to the 6 of Pentacles, when someone's trying to give you something, taking it, provided it's healthy for you and it's a good decision, provided it's something coming from a place of care, taking it will help you progress and get you out of the 5 of Pentacles. Rejecting it puts you in the 5 of Pentacles. Queen of Wands, as I say, it could be a fire sign. Now, I'm going to clarify this 4 of Cups because I don't want to leave you on the 4 of Cups. It's just as if you're not ready. Yeah, you're not sure about an offer. And you may not be sure for the whole of February. You may still be thinking about it come March. You may still be wondering about it. But the offer's there. The offer's on the table. If it's business, you would be wise to take it because you can create something new and something wonderful. If it's by a Gemini or an Aries, I feel also that it is a pretty significant offer. Possibly a Scorpio. Something that puts you in a better position than you were yesterday. A mysterious offer. And what's this 3 of Swords? Let's see what the 3 of Swords is. What do we need to get from this? Yeah, you have to leave something behind. An old dream, an old relationship, an old way of thinking. Something has to be taken away with this full moon. The truth has to come out. Could surround an air sign, an Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, or it could just be that you become more self-sufficient and cutthroat, and you finally cut off the things that you've been holding on to for too damn long. Lovers and the Hanged Man. 3 of Pentacles could be 3 years, could be 6 years, could be 12. Keeps doubling each time. Going back a long time, you've been holding on to some kind of attachment for far too long, and under this full moon, maybe you're ready to leave it go. Chiron, the wounded asteroid, has been in your partnership sector. You've maybe felt a little bit like you were constantly going over the ex, constantly waiting for them. You get an offer, you're not sure you want to take it. That's fine. But the offer's still going to be standing going into March. There may be a very different energy. Allow people to give to you. Allow people to have something to offer. Luminosity, yin and yang. Balance. Luminosity. Yin and yang. Glowing from within. This is all about being connected to your divine feminine. I feel this full moon illuminates you, and this is what this means. You know, yin and yang, male, female energy, regardless of whether you're in a different sex partnership or a same-sex partnership, the yin and yang energy, the give and take, is still important. Because if you don't have yin and yang, there's no support, which is why your focus on giving and receiving is so important this month, particularly as we go into Pisces season. To have the full moon on the first day of Pisces season means that you get this emotional intensity and discovery over in time for you to really assess this. And Mercury is going to go retrograde in that side of the sky, but that doesn't mean your progress will be hindered. It just means that you may have some more old ground to go over in terms of people, but you'll be ready for it. For luminosity, I feel as though you're possibly just trying to be perfect for somebody else and not assessing whether or not they're pulling their weight. Okay? You have to let go of your old way of thinking. And trying to keep everything micromanaged, Virgo. You don't have to micromanage your relationships. It should be a bit easier than that. But you still have to, if you're the woman listening to this, you still have to give some sort of cue. I mean, females always go first, whether people realize it or not, in male-female relationships. They have to give a signal. Otherwise, it's just messy. And for males, I feel as though you need to connect with your heart and your feelings before you can really get somewhere with someone that you want to know more about. The male-female energy confuses people. Society had ideas. The media had ideas. Everyone got more confused. Everybody wants love at the end of it all. There's a reason love readings are so popular. There's a reason tarot readings are so popular when it comes to romance. Everybody wants love. They want that counterpart. And yin and yang, there is something out of balance that's not, one person's too dominant in one field and the other person's lacking in the other. You need to find a way to get harmony, and it starts by either being the one that gives some or takes some. You know what I mean? Something about it is squiff, Virgo. You need to work through that. But you will. That's the beautiful thing about this Two of Pentacles. You will. Even if you're beginning to reject an offer, if you feel like you're giving a lot in a relationship and getting rejected, move on. If you feel as though you're too scared to give and the other person's getting frustrated, give a little. I doubt that's the case because I don't feel like Virgos ever go without giving. But a balance is important. Feeling appreciated is important. I see an offer coming in that could be the yin to your yang and vice versa. And it's exciting, but you have to go through a little bit of investigation of the self first. Treat it as a project. See where the issue is. Work it out. Let the offers come in. Don't micromanage. Don't try and control it so much. Let it be. And light from within. Luminosity. Glow from within. Okay, Virgo? It's beautiful. I really love this offer. I know you're going to be a bit confused about it. I know that whatever it is, if it's your partner, if it's, someone new, an offer of love is there. You go through the Three of Swords. That's fine. You get through it. Get through it well. The future's brighter than you're concerned about. Okay? So I love you guys. If you want to go into the extended reading on love, where I go into fire signs, water signs, air signs, and earth signs for Virgo personalities, you can do that there. And if not, I'll see you in the next set of readings. Bye!